Hey guys, Caleb here with DSLR Video Shooter, and today we're going to check out a really interesting lighting system that gives you a ton of flexibility and creativity. Today we'll be reviewing the Spekular Core Kit, which the kind folks over at Spiffy Gear sent me. This light, or kit of lights rather, is advertised as the only light you need. It is geared toward video and still shooters. To get an idea of how this light looks, I'll be using a second Spekular kit to film this entire video. So every shot you'll see in this video has been lit by a Spekular kit. Many of you have already seen this light used in my videos, so I'm excited to finally share some details on them. So what is Spekular and how does it work? The Spekular Core Kit is composed of 4 very bright light tubes or long blocks that can be connected together in several different ways. The kit ships in a nice case which houses the following components: 4 light tubes, one of which being a master with a switch, dimmer knob, and power in jack, and 3 slave lights which have no controls on them at all. You will also find 4 adjustable connectors, 1/4 20 mounting accessory, an AC adapter to power the entire kit, and a bag of small gel clips for the lights. Now all of this will set you back $650, which is a lot of coin, and at the end of the video I'll address this in more depth. Anyway, back to the light. Connecting everything together is very straightforward. Take the 4 adjustable corners, loosen the knobs, slide the light sticks into each socket, and tighten everything down. Don't forget to add the 1/4 20 mount adapter before adding that last light stick. Connect to power and you're all done. Out of the box, you'll only have so many setups that you can build, but you can start to see how versatile the system is. For the most punch, a simple light panel can be made in a stacked 1x4 or 2x2 formation. For a larger source, you can make a square, a U-shaped light, triangle, or just about anything else using those adjustable angle connectors. The only big downside to the Spekular Core Kit is that all 4 lights have to be connected together. You cannot build 2 or more independent fixtures without an accessory kit, and that accessory is the Spekular Expansion Kit. This expansion kit gives you 2 extension cables and 2 straight dual light connectors. The expansion kit only adds $30 when purchasing the core kit, and in my opinion makes the light feel more complete. As a standalone purchase, the expansion kit will set you back 130 bones, so buying the light with this kit is a smart move. With the expansion kit, your single Spekular light can be turned into 2 or 3 independent lights, and this obviously makes for a much more flexible system. So now we're going to talk about a couple different setups and a few ways you can use the light with this expansion kit. Okay, so let me first say you're going to hear the furnace kick on and off because it is crazy cold here in Chicagoland, hence the hoodie and whatnot. So at any rate, let's talk about the light and a couple different setups. This first setup, I have the light in a 2x2, so it is a roughly, I would say, 2 foot by 3 inch size fixture at this point, using all 4 of the lights connected together. And I'm sitting at less than 50% on the light output to get this correct exposure. It is not that far from me, but I'm still getting a pretty wide shot here. I would like to normally add a little more diffusion. I'll go ahead and turn it all the way up so you can get an idea of where we were at with exposure. So that is full output. I was about half of that. I'll drop it back down, something in there, and then of course we can go all the way down to almost nothing, and there is the minimum setting. So that's what I love about this light as well, is that you have, 0, 1%, 2, 3, all the way up to 100, very granular levels, so that you can really perfectly dial in, I think something like that, what you need for light output. So pretty flexible. Now let's go ahead and mix it up with another setup. Alright guys, so we have another setup, and this time instead of using all the lights together, I've split them up and spread them around the little studio set we have here. So something a little more dramatic going on now. And for my key light, and I'll be showing you little behind the scenes shots of each of these, I have 2 of the light tubes connected with the expansion kit little connector there. So I've got 1 large bar, if you will, using 2 of the lights. That is attached to a stand here, and I have it kind of booming over me. Not a full flat boom, but it's kind of going up at an angle like so. And what it's doing is giving me a nice key wrap. So it's lighting this part of my face and up and above. This is also giving me a nice kind of Rembrandt, little bit of a triangle going on this side of my face. And the first setup, I wasn't really happy with the lack of softness. So I've added I believe, Milk Frost gel. And you can see, or at least I'll show you in some footage, that it is fairly large. So I just clamped it to the back of the light, and it's kind of drooping and hanging down, giving me this nice larger light source and a very soft one. So I'm really pretty happy with that. The other two lights, one is on my background. It's actually right behind me. If I move out of the way, you can see it right back there. That one has a greenish blue turquoise gel and is hitting the background. That's giving us the cooler looking background. The other light has a CTO, or color temperature orange, and it is over there giving me this kicker. And so I've got kind of the warm kicker with the cool background, nice colors that look good together, kind of a cool warm look. And that's pretty much it. To connect all the lights, the one as the background has the switch and the dimmer knob, and then that is running with one of the extension kit or expansion kit cables to the key, and the other cable is running to this kicker light here, which also has that gel, and those gel clips work really well. So this is a quick little setup that you could easily build with these lights. For brightness, we're still at around 50% or less. So you still have lots of output here. And I could improve this setup with a little more fill, but just goes to show you what you can pull off with a single light kit. That it can be used as a single fixture or split up like we're seeing here. So in conclusion, is this unique light worth the price of admission, that being $650? Let me first go over my gripes and then conclude with what I really liked about this light. The first con of this kit is it's really not usable without that expansion kit. I really wish that the core kit actually came with 2 or 3 extension cables out of the box, and that would give you so much more versatility as opposed to the way the core kit ships. The next con is no independent level control. That master light that we talked about earlier that has the switch and the knob is the only way to control brightness for the entire system. So if you just want one light to be bright and the others to be not as bright, that's just not possible. So you might need to pick up some ND gels to help control output, as all of these will have the same brightness no matter what. The next con is the accessories and their costs. Now you can buy that expansion kit for only $30 more when you purchase it with the light, but if you want to down the road maybe add a battery adapter so you can use this wirelessly, that's going to set you back another $130. Next con is cables. Even if you do use that battery adapter, which can be purchased separately, you still have to use cables to connect all the lights together. So hooking everything up can get a little cable intensive, and honestly, this is really the only way to make a system like this work. I completely understand that the Spekular system wouldn't be the same thing if you had battery connectors for every single light. It would kind of lose its magic, so that makes sense to me, but just be warned, there's going to be a lot of cables. And finally, I wish the connectors that connect the tubes together would swivel. It'd be really cool to do some 3-dimensional lighting instead of having all the light fixtures facing the same direction. For example, I would love to have 2 lights connected together, but have one face one direction and the other face a different direction, so that I could set up kind of a back hair light and a background light all with one fixture. So those are the cons. Let's get on to the pros. The biggest one is that these are very, very bright. You really can do a lot with these, and even as independent or solo tubes, they have plenty of output for a lot of uses. I measured just one of these light tubes to see what we could get when it comes to output, and I got 236 lux at 1 meter. So that little diffuser is taking a little bit of the output, but that's just a single one of these. So you get a total of 4 when you put them together, and they're plenty bright for so many different uses. And also color is looking really good on these things. I measured just a single one of these lamps and the kit, and it came out to the same stats at 95.9 on an extended CRI, with both saturated red and skin tones looking pretty solid. Saturated red was a little low at 81, but all in all, great color from these guys. And there was zero shift when it comes to green and magenta, so right on. Another great thing about this whole light is that it is a very compact system. Everything packs down really nicely, and you can pack everything into that original case, and it really doesn't take up much room. The next pro is that this light is insanely versatile. It can be used as a key light, a ring light, several different shapes for your ring light, or using the expansion kit and those extension cables, you can set it up as a more traditional style panel. I've really enjoyed the 2x2 formation for kind of a small KinoFlow style setup, and then of course you can turn it into multiple different lights for more complex lighting. The next pro is that the lights themselves are very well made. They are made of aluminum and they're really tough. I found my favorite way to mount them was to take a nano clamp and just clamp it directly onto the light and then mount it with a ball head onto a stand. There's just so many different ways to use them, and they're tough enough to really handle a beating. And the final pro to this light is that I cannot stop using them. Yes, they're expensive. No, they're not by color. You can't independently control the brightness of the tubes, and sometimes there's a lot of cables when you're using the expansion kit, but I'm just finding so many different ways to use these lights. They're awesome for product videos, as you see me use them in the background. You can really go crazy with these lights, and if you're going to be doing tons of different setups and you're only going to buy a single fixture, these are really awesome. So that is going to do it for the review of the Spekular light or lights. Not for everybody, but if you're looking for a single fixture or set of fixtures that are really versatile, these are pretty fantastic, and I've had a lot of fun with them and will continue to use them quite a bit because I'm constantly coming up with new ideas for how I can use them for various videos. You can learn more about the kit in the description, and as always, you can find fresh videos about video production here at DSLR Video Shooter. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
Thank you.